Hey guys, welcome back to the Exam Vision YouTube channel. My name is Ellen and today we're going to be talking about how to have the most productive weekends. I know sometimes the weekends are tough for most people because they're not in school, but you obviously still need to study, so these are just my top tips for being the most productive you can be during your weekends. Without further ado, let's get on with the video. The first thing I want to talk about is your study environment. Obviously during the week while you're at school, if you do after school study, you are probably in a massive hall with 100 or 200 other people. You have a tiny little desk, it's probably freezing, but you're probably used to that environment and you study well in it. Or maybe you don't study well in it, I don't know. But obviously you're going to have a completely different environment at home. You don't have anyone watching over you, making sure you're studying. You don't have 100 other people studying around you, and you're not being watched over like an absolute hawk to just sit there and study and you can't really go anywhere or do anything. You're kind of forced to study, which is why I think after school study is good. But obviously at the weekends you do not have that. You really need to create a clean, quiet study area in your home and have it be the same study area that you always go to for when you're doing your homework or studying or whatever it is. If you're moving around from like the kitchen to your office to your room to even like your bed, that is just a no-go. You need to have a specific area that your mind knows that when you're going to that area you are studying and that's it. I know some people who the whole Leaving Cert they studied on their bed, and I just think that's awful. Your bed should be associated with sleep and that is it. You should not be sitting on your bed in an awkward position with a horrible posture trying to study. So you need to have a specific environment that you associate with study. Obviously you want it to be spacious, you want to be able to lay all your books out, all of your notes out, you want it to have decent Wi-Fi so that you can actually go online, get your exam papers, go onto examvision.ie. For me personally, I liked my room, I had a desk in my room and that was my study spot, and that is what worked well for me. I didn't like studying in the kitchen because I had siblings and obviously people are cooking, it's just too much going on and it will just distract you. You need to be able to tell your family, okay, I'm going to study now, do not come into my room or wherever you are, and you have that space that is quiet, decent Wi-Fi, it's clean and it's spacious, and you associate that space with studying. The next thing I want to talk about is setting a goal for the weekend. Basically what you want to accomplish by Sunday evening. You could have, okay, I want this whole chapter to be learnt off and done. Or you could say, okay, I want 5 years of exam questions done on a particular topic in biology. Or you could be doing a practice essay for English and getting it marked by your teacher. Whatever those things are, you need to make a list on Friday evening or Saturday morning, whenever you start, for what you want to have done by Sunday. And you probably should really highlight what the most important things you need to have done by Sunday are. Because obviously we all want to have a million things done over the weekend, but it's not always feasible. So have a realistic list of what you think you're going to be able to get done that weekend. It will make you feel accomplished to be able to tick those off the list, and by Monday you have been productive and have ticked off your entire list and have therefore progressed in your study and how much things you know for your Leaving Cert. Or Junior Cert, obviously. The next thing I want to talk about is making use of the mornings. You should really be starting early. I'm not saying 5 or 6 a.m, I'm talking like 9 or 10. You are always the most productive you will ever be in the morning times. Also starting early in the mornings means that you will have your evenings to relax and you will also get enough sleep in. Because if you're studying late into the night, on both Saturday and Sunday, you still have to wake up at whatever time for school on Monday morning, and it's just not great for sleep. It will throw your sleep schedule off. So start early. You will have your evenings free to relax or do whatever you need to do, and you will also be getting your sleep in. You are also the most productive at the very start of your study session, so always tackle the hardest subjects or the hardest tasks on your list at the very start, at the very beginning of the morning. That means as you lose energy throughout the day, you're going on to easier topics or you're moving on to subjects that you like, but do the worst things you don't want to do in the morning. Get them done and over with, and it will make you feel extremely accomplished. Also on that point, eat breakfast. If you just get out of bed and sit in your desk, you're gonna be half asleep. Within about an hour, you're going to be hungry and want to break your study session and go and eat for 2 hours. But if you're just waking up, eating breakfast and sitting down, that's it. You're not interrupting anything. And you also need food for energy, so please eat. The last thing I want to talk about is having incentives. You should really be rewarding yourself after doing a big task or at the very end of the day. If you've ticked off things from your list, if you have accomplished what you wanted to accomplish, you should be rewarding yourself. Whether that be going out with your friends that evening, or sitting down and watching 5 episodes of your favorite show, or eating a bar of chocolate. I don't know. Now, one thing I do want to say is don't reward yourself for absolutely everything. I'm not trying to be mean. You can do whatever you want to do, but if you do a couple exam questions for 30 minutes, you don't get to just leave your desk and watch an episode of your show for 45 minutes. That's not how this should work. If you're completing a big task like writing an English essay, or maybe at the end of the day, all of your tasks are done. That kind of thing. Not after every single little task that you've done. Or else you will get nowhere and you'll just be constantly rewarding yourself and barely even studying. Also, another little quick tip is studying in groups. I didn't do this as much during the Leaving Cert because of COVID, but I did this a lot in my Junior Cert. I would have my friends come over, usually there'd be like 2 or 3 of us, and we would quiz each other on certain topics. A lot of the time I was the one quizzing 2 different people, but also that really helped me. Even though I wasn't sitting there studying and learning anything off, still quizzing people on the answers and knowing the answer myself and waiting for them to say it helped me learn off stuff a lot. So if that's something you're interested in doing, maybe if you're in the Junior Cert, that's a great idea and it did really work well for me. Before we end the video, guys, I just want to say don't forget to check out the Exam Vision courses and bundles. They have H1 standard notes, quizzes, presentations, video lessons, and majority of the Leaving Cert and Junior Cert subjects. We know a girl who took out an 8th subject for the Leaving Cert purely using Exam Vision, did not have a tutor, did not do the subject in school. She purely used Exam Vision and she got a H1 of the subject. So I just want to put that out there. If you are struggling with a certain subject, I would highly recommend checking them out. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching and I'll talk to you all later. Bye!